Hello, viewers. I'm SB,
And I'm Amabel.
and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we are just now sitting here in the middle of a frozen field. This represents the desolation of Harry's soul. Probably.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
I don't know. I'm not feeling 100% here. You're going to have to carry a lot of the analysis today.
Okay. Well, right now, oh, there's something over there. Okay. Looking for something to look at. There's a guy. Maybe
Bleeding
that's...
moderately badly. It's okay. I'm fine. Tiny cages, carefully constructed.
I think this is the guy.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Ooh, okay. I don't like Gary the crypto fascist. That's not...
Why would you not like Gary the crypto fascist? What's not to love about Gary, the crypto fascist?
You know what my problem is the name Gary. It's just...
Yeah. Listen, we've all
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
we've all had bad times in Indiana. It happens.
Yeah. Now I have that song stuck in my head. Thank you for that. You must be Moral, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. He's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Yeah, the water locks. I'm not gonna tell him I did it. I don't think that's useful information.
Yeah, that's not germane.
The water lock's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
Okay, I'll ask him about this stuff. I'll tell you, I'm not gonna talk to is Gary.
Gary the
not gonna
crypto
talk to Gary.
fascist?
Yeah. Don't give me any crap if I'm not talking to Gary.
What do you think about the game identifying him that way? Him being identified as the crypto fascist before you even say a word to him, before you have a way of knowing that about him.
It's something I've been thinking about a lot actually with the game because everyone's been introduced with their name or with a name and like this kind of descriptor before
the racist lorry driver, I believe, is called racist lorry driver when you first encounter him.
Yeah, and it's an interesting tact. Like I would almost like when I played RPGs. Let me tell you about the RPGs that I played, like Final Fantasy VI. Not only do I not know someone's name when I first meet them, but I didn't get to pick their name. I don't get to do either of those things here. They just tell me their name right away. What's going on there? I'm not sure what I think about it. It certainly makes me want to not talk to him. And maybe it's trying to incentivize me to do that, or maybe it's trying to give me information so I can then make a choice about whether or not I want to talk to him and have what would probably be an unpleasant conversation. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Yep, just like that Fantastic Four run by Jonathan Hickman.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques. to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sorts of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
Ghost insect, so you're ghost hunters.
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists, looking for an extant species of phasmid.
I mean, he did say a ghost insect means one that describes itself as a plant. I think it's it's like a colorful name. It's not.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted conceptualization. I wanted to go with it.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I think is interesting too is that by telling us that the other guy is the crypto fascist, and knowing that he and Moral are hanging out or buddies, like it tells me something about Moral that I wouldn't know otherwise, and maybe it tells me something about Lena. I don't know what Lena is like politically there. You know?
Yeah.
And this really it's interesting information. How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you.
Seems puny, to be honest.
Have you ever seen a stick bug in real life?
Yeah, they're cool.
How big are they?
The one I saw was
Like a few inches long?
yeah, it wasn't super big. But it was, it was a noticeable size. It was like bigger than a mantis, and mantises are pretty big as far as insects go. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long,
would be glory itself.
What have you discovered about it so far?
very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid. I know
Oh,
it's
gosh.
real.
Sorry, so Tim was saying...
The lieutenant. Hey, let me
Okay.
let me do it.
Okay.
The lieutenant interjects. Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real? I know it's real, the cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
Thank you, sweetheart, and I'm sorry for accidentally double-clicking there.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
What makes you think the phasmid is here in Martinez?
There was a credible sighting here recently. A pair of teenagers described a creature that matched the Insulindian phasmid to an uncanny degree, despite not knowing what it was themselves. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Parson, the encyclopedia. Parthenogenesis?
Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't like the second one at all. Because, no. And rouses. No, I'm going with the first one. That's pretty clever.
I have thought about this, and I refuse to have an opinion.
Yeah, no, I.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Alright, well, tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the traps?
Yes.
Okay. No more information on that, alright. How do the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
I'm sure you have. Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
Okay, yeah, that's actually kind of neat. So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
His eyes narrow. You've upset him.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Have you ever discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven to be real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
It's an interesting philosophy.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna nod approvingly because here's the thing that I know. You probably know this because you know a lot of things.
I do.
But
I know basically everything. It's true.
Yeah, but the mountain gorilla was thought to be a hoax after its initial discovery until like 1900 or something like that, when someone else like found one, like someone saw one, described one, went back to like the Royal White Guy Society and was like, "Oh, I found this thing. It's what it looks like." And they're like, "No, you're wrong. That's not a real thing." And then 100, 200 years later, someone else found one and brought one back. It's like, yeah, okay, these things are real. So there's a lot of things that, yeah, Then the Insulindian phasmid will be the third. I will nod approvingly.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing.
Okay, I think the second question is going to antagonize him. I don't want to do
Yes,
that.
it seems designed to do so, really.
Yeah. So thanks for explaining that. Now about something else.
Yes?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south, where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Yeah, so the two options. They're both kind of expressing the same thing, but in very different ways. And I'm gonna do the way it's gentler, which is I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted the phasmid?
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough, into his fist this time.
This is... I don't know how video games work, but when I watch television or movies, if someone coughs twice,
Yep.
they're dying.
Yeah, that person is dead within the hour.
His spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigors of the coast.
Yeah, maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check the traps later.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
Put enough locusts in there.
He's dead set on this.
What if we check the traps for you? Kim's gonna love this.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
He looks at you with obvious surprise. The way Kim is looking at you is not described.
Will he be insulted if I say I'm all in with this cryptid shit? I'm hooked.
Why would he be insulted?
Sweetheart, people of a certain age, if you describe something as shit, I don't think they're aware of like the nuance of the way we young people. Well, you young people, I'm older than you. I'm ancient and terrible. But I think saying like, oh, I love this shit. Like shit seems dismissive and derogatory.
Hold on just a second here. Are you suggesting that I am not ancient and terrible? Ancient and terrible as the dawn? How dare you? That's the most insulting thing you've ever said to me.
I'm all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked.
Caught the bug, I see. It's easier to get caught up in the search than you'd imagine.
No, we're still trying to catch the bug. Come on, keep up.
Yeah. Where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them...
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, Better safe and stupid than sorry.
What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
What is this gonna do to my stats?
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Oh.
In for a penny, in for a pound. Lay it on me thick. Present my armpit.
He douses you with the odd-smelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, then gives you a satisfied nod.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
Thank you, Shivers.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the boiling.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Gary, shut up!
Yeah, Shut up, Gary.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
I'll get going.
These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid, and still they won't light up. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes, crumbling. And that's 45 cents. Huzzah! A buoy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11.
Alright.
Gary's mumbling about the good old days. Fucking
you, Gary.
Fucking Gary. Fuck you, Gary. It is unfortunately the case. So I'm a person who has more than a passing interest in a cryptid.
Mm-hmm.
And it is unfortunately the case that these spaces tend to attract certain kinds of people.
Yeah.
No boat in the boathouse today, which is certainly not to say that everybody who's into cryptids is like that. Because once again, I myself.
There's a trap
Yeah.
in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Do I look around?
Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst themselves. Confidentially, snowflakes cling to their shivering stems. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows.
I would reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
The lieutenant grins mirthlessly.
No need to grin. I'm not expecting to find anything. I'm helping some citizens and getting some fresh air.
I meant no offense, just...
The lieutenant doesn't know how to finish the sentence. He looks at you, putting the trap back on the ground.
I will look around again.
Behind you, the ruins of a residential.
No,
when this
okay.
district was booming, the reed.
Well, yeah, it seemed like there was to be more, but
The
there wasn't.
boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. like that you can actually see the bugs flying around in the trap. They have their own
Yeah,
little
that's
green
really
outlines.
good.
Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench, covered in rust. The sign says, Entrée interdite.
Do you know what that means?
An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. People paid money to park here? No one would pay now. I don't know interdite.
Oh.
Obviously, Entrée's entry. The boards crack dangerously as you run. Be careful here. Definitely run back over them a second time if you can. This door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. I found people. This is a kind of hat?
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have a hat on.
Question
so-
mark? That was not, I was asking you. You're the hat expert.
I am the woman's hat expert.
This is fair.
I don't know for men's hats. Is
The
this a good-
small wire framing inside this futuristic-looking found peepo hat gives it the aerodynamic shape of a swoop skier's helmet, but none of its protective qualities. It covers the wearer's ears and eyebrows to bring down the drag coefficient, and gives you ultimate peak focus.
All right.
Like get it? Peak focus.
No, I don't.
Because it's for
get
a
it.
skier?
Oh.
You know, if you're willing to pick up filthy coins, there's a lot of money laying around out here.
Yeah.
Hey, was that,
What's what?
when you put your mouse cursor over those boxes, I thought I saw it turn to the hand for a second.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, free alcohol.
No. We are.
All right.
This is a teetotaler run of Disco Elysium. Thank you very much.
Sober percent.
Okay, I can't actually walk here, so I can go this way. Okay. Oh, really? You have to go all the... What are you doing?
He's going where you told him to go.
That's... Okay.
You're the one who clicked.
No, hang on. Come back over here. Give me the thought.
This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades.
Okay, well, that was a useful thought, I guess. Oh, this is where they just were, and that's... We've already been that way. Okay.
I mean, you can check that trap now. You did what he said and checked at least one other one.
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. But
I'll reach for the trap.
this trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap.
The lieutenant takes a note, more out of habit than duty.
How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself.
Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
He smiles and raises his collar. It's windy.
Oh, that's nice, Kim.
He means because you run everywhere quite unnecessarily.
Yeah, no, I get that. I understood.
Did you, though?
Yeah.
Can you prove that?
No. Cannot prove it.
Well, I mean, Pixar, it didn't happen. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. I'm sorry I'm being difficult for no reason.
Sweetheart,
Yeah,
that's why I love you.
good, because it's a character trait that's not likely to change.
I'm aware.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D.
Turn away. My only option. Oh, someone to talk to.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Oh wow, I know what hypertext is.
Nice to meet you.
But Harry doesn't. Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
That's really interesting. Half-Light, so that's a success on Half-Light. Where
Yeah.
if your sort of fear sense is tuned up enough, you decide that this guy is just trying to make himself sound smart, even though that's not correct. It's just you're so driven by like the terror of your own inferiority.
Yeah, you know, it's the fact that my Half-Light is so high and he's so wrong about almost everything is really good. I like that very much, actually.
All right, 2 more skill points for Half-Light. No, are we not? Okay.
No, because you know what I'm going to do after we're done here?
Skill
I'm
point.
going to read a
some
file.
Okay, I thought you were talking about what you were going to do with the other point.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building
This
again.
man is your half-brother. You feel it.
Right.
But why?
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes to shield himself from the freezing snow. All 4 of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Oof, your encyclopedia is not good.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
Okay, I'm just going to continue then. I wasn't sure if you were going to read that or not.
No, his suit jacket is of 0 import. Also, sorry, I was...
They started out as a midway electronics
Sorry.
outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era.
I was fiddling with my... I was fiddling with
Okay.
my bandages, okay? Damn.
Okay. I will continue.
Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here.
Very interesting. Let's not talk about this.
What was that, Ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. Amabel is so flabbergasted by this level of technology. She can't even words anymore.
Oh no, I've coughed more than twice, sweetie. This might be our last episode. What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built matinees proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
What did the revolutionaries do with these advanced tape computers? That's one that's most interesting to me of these options. The other one's like, I don't...
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Decret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
It's the year 50, my man, and my character is... I don't know how old he is. Cut me some slack.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree.
Oh.
You alright?
Yeah, no, this guy is both like, I know people like him.
Yeah.
I know people like his singer-songwriter friend. Maybe I kind of am that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sweetie, I love you, but you are people like his singer-songwriter friend.
Yeah, but I'm not so smug about it.
I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
That's right, Mikhail. You tell him what's important.
I wanted to ask something else.
But of course. What else?
He smiles and ruffles his kid's head.
Great thing for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
I love that you've been like sort of fascinated and in love with every NPC we've met so far, but Harry just like hates this dude. It's like, oh, it's fucking Trant again. God damn it. This fence blocks the path. No way on from here. Locked.
Okay.
Very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Is it though? Now that you say so, I don't know if I agree.
No, that makes sense. That's pretty
I'm sorry.
par for the course with you, sweetheart.
Oh.
Love you.
Am I a bad person?
No.
Am I a person who's bad to be around?
No, you are wonderful to be around, actually.
Okay, because they sound like a nightmare to me.
A beautiful nightmare.
Someone must have worked hard to smash this plastic dome. I'll accept beautiful nightmare. A dead phone, a smashed receiver, like someone hung up too hard. You can imagine why. Calls become terrible sometimes. So you don't actually want to interact with
What?
the thing? You just wanted to look at the dome?
Wait, was I not interacting with the... Okay. There we
A metal
are, okay.
payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
I will pick up the handset.
You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Nope, the machine is operable. Opposite of what he just said.
Okay, I will put a 10 cents in and dial a random number, sure.
Okay.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this?
Probably not, but let's be honest, I haven't gotten this far in the game making good decisions.
End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
The voice is female and sounds about 100 years old.
No, this is not Pierre.
Do you have any news about Pierre?
Who is Pierre?
He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you, then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country.
The woman moans, and the phone lines howl in unison with her.
I don't know who I am, but who are you?
I was a baroness.
Oh, well then, you should, okay.
Pause. There is silence on the other end.
You won't get me, and you won't get my money.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone.
Okay, well, that was a conversation that
I don't know what you expected.
I don't know. Okay, there's another trap around here somewhere?
Yeah, the game zoomed the camera way in when you...
So, hang on.
You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. The sign reads, St. Brun, 1147. Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing.
Yeah, money.
An altar shrouded in dark. Or something like that. It's too dark to tell. It's too dark to tell whether there are things shrouded in dark in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
I will inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
I'll run my hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker.
I'll look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
Okay, alright. What makes it so modern?
It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here.
Have you seen this symbol before? I point to it like it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
Okay, what is junior delinquency?
For Revachol ZOC, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams.
Okay, Kim. What is the gist of a junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
Well, bulletproof.
I agree. It's very modern. But does the cheery guy not know he's dead, or does the dead guy not care that he is? What is the source of the irony here?
That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to try to peel off the sticker without ripping it.
Your hands are clammy from the sea air. The piece of sticker keeps slipping away.
You almost had it there.
I will gracefully let the lock go.
Wait, aren't
The
you?
lock clanks against the door, cold
What?
and heavy.
I was gonna say, aren't you the person who smashes all the locks and breaks all the shit? And
Oh, I should have done that, yeah.
it feels like saying "fuck you" and punching the lock was kind of in character. Is all.
Yeah, I will inspect the staple.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
This is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
Where do you think we should start?
Can you hear the pulsing bass underneath the wind? A sure sign of junior delinquency, somewhere east of here.
Oh, if you put the tool in your hand, that number will
Yeah.
be different.
Okay.
So you do have a skill point.
Do you have a skill point? You know what I'm going to do with that skill point, though?
What's that?
I got some stuff here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring. Was you would probably want to
Okay.
slot a thought with it. Do you know which one?
Oh, actual arts degree.
Can't even look at this shit. I mean, you are pretty regular. I don't know. Like, what do you think? What kind of thing are you crafting here?
I mean, I think, here is someone who is not the most smart, not the most brains, but he wants to be smarter. He wants to. So, like, I feel like the grasping towards something that's a bit more intellectual, that isn't his, doesn't come as naturally to him, that's why we have whatchamacallit so high, conceptualization, you know.
Yep.
So I think we're doing an actual art degree.
Yeah, it's another capo type. The worst one. I was reading the text. The most savage and brutal. The art cop. Nothing is good enough for him. Everything is shit. You have to employ an armada of adjectives to depict and demean the mediocrity of the works and visual institutions around you. Really flex that critical muscle until the vocabulary for punishing mediocrity becomes second nature. Here we go. So this is some I am not an artist and I am insecure about it and I'm taking that insecurity out on you.
Yeah, you know what?
vibes.
I'm gonna.
All
right.
Okay, so it looks like you got a bit of the normal in you. A touch of the regular. 4 grams of Johnny Normal Cop. Who would have thunk it? You, the extremist of all cops. You said some pretty boring things back there. And now you have 2 choices. You can either leave it behind and forget about it, or you can try to utilize your normalcy, internalize it, get a touch of vanilla back into the herring-flavored egg and licorice ice cream of your mind. I don't think you actually unlocked it. Yeah. Okay. It's only an hour and 20 minutes to internalize that.
Yeah. That will not take long at all. I can't move through. It's going around the other. Okay. Yep.
That's all right. Let Harry do the navigation.
He's going for a jog.
Kim loves it. It's his favorite shit.
He's He's often said so. Oh.
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody?
Me?
Exactly.
Why am I like a seagull?
Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise. Then their paradise became shit city. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons. No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters, just like you.
I don't think Endurance knows anything about seagulls.
No, he doesn't. Hold on. Have I ever eaten a burger out of the trash?
You have. The body remembers.
Well, we're none of us perfect.
But I'm not like that. I'm still romantic.
Sure, inside. But outside, it's a tough world. You've got to do whatever it takes to survive. And you do. Question is, will you admit that to yourself?
Okay, well, let me reconsider.
Good boy.
Oh, I don't like the way that feels.
Yeah.
I guess I am a bit like a seagull.
Exactly. The seagull does what it takes, and so do you. You've got that same spirit in you. When the time comes, you push yourself.
Huh. What a curious moment of internal monologue.
Yeah, that was something. Okay. Some over here.
It must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Holy shit, those birds are so loud.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing.
Thank you, empathy.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Okay, so one of these is really like weird and paternalistic in one way, and then another one is really weird and paternalistic in a different way.
Yeah, I have some questions for you. Is where I'm going, and this is why I end up being the regular cop, because I'm not going to say like weird paternalistic or misogynistic shit to people, and I try to respect people, and that the game has a problem with that.
I'm listening.
Hold on, the game doesn't have a problem with that. The game said that's normal to do. A cold wind blows in from the sea. She breathes on her fingers for warmth, looking up at you. And again, I will note, the game clearly identifies one of the copper-types as the worst one, and it's not normal cop.
Okay. What's your name?
A cell.
And your surname?
Why?
I am from the police. It's for the paperwork.
Okay, it's Burger.
You have little reason to doubt that's her real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Actually, I have some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
What is it you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
Drama? Are you okay? What? Why? Why?
Drama is doing what Drama has always done. At least it didn't call you sire this time.
And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps? Is Drama just Sir Hiss?
Drama's a lot of things, all right? Look at that picture.
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
I just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
The girl is cold all of a sudden. Very cold.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She is on some kind of stimulant, amphetamine or methadone, and its effects are wearing off fast. She will begin to experience more and more valleys now, and fewer peaks.
Take this, you're cold.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
The lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. He might not have the finely attuned drug experience that you do.
Here, you need this more than I do, and I give her the hat.
Thanks.
She puts it on. It's a bit large for her.
I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, a tape recorder lies in ice like a toy. Pick it up. Yeah, okay. I'll try that.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath you see a reel of tape rolling. You put the device back on the ice.
I love that that's like the fact that that's an empathy check expresses so much about like what the success represents, like the way that you pick it up and the meaning and purpose of it.
Yeah, there's really there's a lot of thoughtfulness and a lot of, I don't want to say poetry in the game because poetry sounds kind of naturally highfalutin, but like there's a lot of sensitivity to the game. The game is like really finely attuned to all these little moments and the ways people interact with each other and like the psyche of this character, and like it's just so good. Turns out, I don't know, this is gonna blow anyone's mind. You know, we're 19, 20 episodes in. Turns out this game is good.
Ooh, ouch.
We're really impressed.
Sorry, I just burned myself on that take.
Yeah. Actually, that's it for now.
Okay, bye.
She turns her attention back to the recording device.
There's some stuff over here. There's a tent. I won't go into that just yet.
More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. Trash from some unending party.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up.
Push it over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems useful.
Let's check out this tent, I guess.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
No.
No?
Just don't.
Damn. painted with pastels. Someone is trying to bring cheer into the world.
And part of it is, I hate to say this.
Okay.
I am like, I really want to get back to trying to read the file with my volition. So I'm trying to find, there's supposed to be a trap around here somewhere, right? Hang on. That's the traps.
Far northeast of the Felt building. So he said past the church.
Okay. So, yeah, the Felt building
Past the church before the radio tower.
Okay. Well, where's the radio tower?
Well, I reckon from those descriptions, it's going to be past the church and also past the trap.
Alright. Something's over here, okay.
This chain trails off into the ocean, to who knows where. These rusty gears used to turn the whole machine.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing anyway?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Used to service what?
Probably something that is no longer there.
The lieutenant looks at the hunching concrete toad in front of him.
Okay. This is a red check.
It cannot
be retried. What the hell?
Damn.
You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
Huh, the door's shut tight. How can we get in there?
We don't get in there.
What do you mean? We get into, like, everywhere.
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everett knew that's a part of our MO.
That's true. He looked at you and he recognized immediately. These men are door openers.
Okay, I can live with this.
What else is there to do? Not accepting isn't going to bring the fire brigade in.
He looks at the door with a rueful smile.
Relax, he thinks. There's no one in there. If we can't open it, neither can anyone else.
Walk away.
Wow. This barrel has been recently discarded. It still smells of fuel oil. So, like, here's the thing. Like, that's the least video game shit I've ever seen you do.
What do you mean?
It's just like, yeah, I'm going to do the thing that you can only screw up once and I'm definitely going to fail at and not save or anything. And then it happened and you were just like, ah, well, I accept that occurred. And that's like sensible in a real world way, but it's very not video games, right?
Well, first of all, I don't know how to save.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologists.
It is just laying all the way out in the open. But yeah, like it is so much a part, especially of modern video game culture, to like, oh, if you miss something, that's the worst thing that could possibly happen. And, you know, the only correct way to play a video game is to always get and see everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, what I'm trying to do in this Let's Play is I am trying to do this role-playing thing you keep telling me about.
Okay,
and,
fits and starts, sure.
And, like, thank you. And he's trying to, I think, come around to the fact that he is a failure generally, and should be able to accept his failure without stamping his feet like a child.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I do think the thing where you get to 100% everything and you can't bear to fail, I think that does suck. And like that's actually something. The thing I'm working on right now that you know about.
Yeah.
A lot of it is about that.
Okay.
And I'm particularly using disco and pentiment as examples.
Okay. Being weirdly evasive about that. The thing I'm working on that you know about.
When I'm in your space,
Yeah.
which is where I am right now.
Oh, was this a you're afraid to promote yourself thing? Amabel's talking about her next video essay. Amabel Holland, a video essayist to the stars, is working on her next magnum opus. And apparently it's going to be to some degree about this impediment and the things experienced and learned therefrom.
A little bit, yeah. Well, I guess when I'm in your space, because like anytime I appear on a thing on the internet,
I'm linking your video essays in the description of this episode. That's happening.
Okay. There's a playlist, so just grab the playlist link.
Yeah, I know. I know what to do.
Okay.
Tell me how to promote you.
But usually when I'm appearing on stuff online, it's in a promotional context, and here it's not about me. I am your second banana. I am your sweetie pie, and I like doing that and not like being promotional and being like, hey, look out for my book coming out. Look out for my new game coming out in a week or two, etc. So that's all. I'm not trying to be like evasive. It's just I want to respect this space.
Sure.
Both for you and for what it means for me.
Sure. She does have a book coming out soon, so everybody be on the lookout for that. Pre-order.
I reach for the trap.
Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we are done.
His face is red from the cold sea air. He crouches to catch his breath.
You getting tired?
No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
He's short-winded, and his sentence ends there.
Okay, if Kim dies within an hour, I'd be very upset.
Yeah. You ran Kim to death. Some kind of big ship off the coast here is making an awful lot of noise.
Yeah, in the canal I crossed southeast of the village.
All right. I'm going to suggest that maybe we save that for next time. We've done sort of the outward action. We can come back in a future episode, but we are over the thing. So I do believe that is where we are going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we've got some very mediocre news for Morel the cryptozoologist, and also maybe Amabel will finally get to know what's in those files. I can hardly wait.
I'm so excited.
So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.